Hey, I'm Kelly.
I'm Lewis.
We're the Dollyrots, and you are listening to
Rock at Night.
Yeah. Are you ready? Hey, tonight I'm gonna take you on a little trip. We're going down south by the mighty Mississippi. I'm gonna take you to a place where lights never dim. Bring your mother, your brother, and your best friend. I'm gonna show you where they dance out in the street. They'll tell you all about your body heat. I'm not gonna talk about it, just gonna do it. Get on down, if you feel up good, now get on down.
This is Charisse with Rock at Night magazine, and we're here talking with the Dollyrots. Hey there.
Hello.
Hi.
You guys are in Tampa right now, I presume?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, we're home based in Tampa. Our kids and our pets. Yeah, this is Daisy. She's our daughter. She's one of two. And yeah, based at her much all the time.
River.
You have a brother river. That's
Hello there. I just met your doggy.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a full
All
house
right.
over here.
So you are coming out on January 7th with a record. It's actually a 2 CD album, correct?
Yep, it actually got to the 21st.
Oh, it
there
got
were-
pushed up. I'm glad you told me.
We're dealing with like supply chain at every corner right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got moved to the 21st. It's only 2 weeks, but it gives us a little more time to kind of like bake it in and get it going. So yeah, it's basically a retrospective of a ton of stuff that didn't end up on albums for whatever reason. So sometimes, we'll finish an album and say we record 15 songs and only 12 of them make the album. And it doesn't mean that the other songs aren't good. It's just, it doesn't fit the feel of the rest of them. And we don't set out to make an album as a concept. Usually it just kind of comes together the way it comes together. But you do end up with these like kind of like strange oddball songs. We were like, should we do something with it? So we're really proud of the collection. It's cool. I mean, it's like basically 20 years of music. So
That's a long time, 20 years. I noticed you have a lot of great covers in there. Some of these songs have never been heard, correct?
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
A bunch of them, or several haven't been heard.
And this one brand new one, the second single.
Yeah, Too Fun for My Health has never been heard by anyone for sure. That's the newest one. That was gonna go on. That was recorded at the same time as Make Me Hot, our last single. But yeah, some of them have been given to our patrons because we have a Patreon. And so if you're a patron, you may have some of these because they get exclusive stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And then some of them we just like recorded for fun and gave away on like Bandcamp.
Yeah,
like,
especially the covers.
It's like after Tom Petty passed away, we recorded American Girl like the next day because we were just inspired to do it. So
Yeah.
and that was just a bit like a one-off, like random, so all of them have like a little bit of a story behind them.
Too Fun for My Health, I presume that has to do with COVID.
It doesn't though. It's crazy. Like we
wrote it before COVID.
We wrote it pre-COVID.
I know.
So we wrote that
And Make Me Hot.
and Make Me Hot, right? Like, and Make Me Hot was released in March of 2020. They were both recorded at the same session in like January of that year.
Yeah.
So it was all prior to all this. And that song's just been hanging out. And I've been like, by the time we get around to releasing this, none of that's going to matter anymore. And here we are.
And it still matters.
It still matters.
It does. I just saw your video for Just Like All the Rest, super cute.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Love the message too. That's great. And I like your dark version of Get Radical.
Thanks. Yeah, that was the original one.
Yep.
We recorded that for Whiplash Splash, and Steven Van Zandt at Wicked Cool, they asked us if we had any B-sides, right? So I was like, hey, here's a couple songs. And that was one of them. And Steven said...
Stevie was like, pretty much he was like, I like the whole thing, but it needs to be major.
Instead of minor. he's like, can you redo the song except in a major key, like to make
And
it
to us,
happy?
it was like my brain kind of melted.
I
And
was-
somehow Lewis figured it out.
well, there's like a trick. You can change minor to major by going to the relative fifth or whatever. So I changed it, and we kept the original vocal because it still works like with the same, the same notes. It was like a math equation though. I was like, dude, what are you doing to me?
That's interesting because it does sound darker than the original version. And when I look at it too, compared to your other stuff is kind of lighthearted and fun. But Get Radical definitely has a message.
Yeah, we're not overly political or anything like that. Like we're basically like
In our personal life, we might be.
in our personal life, we definitely have our opinions, but our band is about like bringing happiness. So, but we do have some songs that, occasionally like one per album that are like either a little angrier or they're like F you to society, or they're like, like middle finger to the man or whatever. And, cause that's just naturally part of
punk.
Yeah, that's why it's like
Punk is political usually, or protest.
Yeah, that's what we grew up with, so
Yeah.
so it's all right to let them out every now and then.
Well, it really spoke to me because of the whole Me Too thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
so the
We
one with the pink-
I don't know. I feel like if we can put that's part of the reason why that song was put out as a single, it was like, this feels like an important song. So yeah, we play it as part of the live set too.
I like it. What's a fun song I like is your Super Mega Ultraviolet.
Yeah,
That's a really fun song.
thanks. Yeah, that one we did originally for a compilation. Our friends Jarrett and Linus have a record label called Krabby Records, and they had a summer comp. They were like, do you have any summery songs? And we were like, we'll just write one.
We'll find-
That song's been around for a while. We just haven't done anything.
Now, I noticed a lot of your covers, you're really dipping into the 50s sound, which in a sense is kind of like the Ramones. I mean, a lot of 50s, but you make it in ultra speedy form to make it punk. Do Run, I Want to Be Sedated. Of course, that's Ramones. Earth Angel. How did that one come up?
I mean, growing up in Florida, we listened to a lot of oldies radio.
Mhm.
And a lot of my parents' records were, my mom liked girl groups music and some of the early Motown stuff. So I mean, I was naturally influenced by that. And it's music that I still love and listen to. I mean, the Ronettes, the Crystals, the Chiffons, the Shangri-Las, all of that is just a part of me and my musical upbringing. So it's fun to do those older songs sometimes too. And I mean, it also informed the punk that we grew up on and like you said, the Ramones and all of that. So, it was just kind of a natural thing to do. And we also, when we do covers, we try to do covers that might bring a song to people who haven't heard it or maybe haven't thought of it in a while. And so there are a lot of younger fans who might not know who some of these covers are, and so we just want to bring them to light, and maybe expose some people to that. A lot of our favorite bands always did that. Nirvana is a band that we grew up on, and that's how we learned about Buzzcocks and Dinosaur Jr. and Bikini Kill. And so if we can inform some kids about girl groups and that era of music, then it's kind of cool. I mean, I know you hear it everywhere you go, but in a more deep way, maybe.
That makes total sense because you're actually touching a lot of different decades. I thought it was interesting that you did Lisa Loeb's Stay.
Well, that song, because we were teenagers in the 90s.
Yeah.
And so that song was just such a big one at the time.
Mhm.
And I can't remember who told us to do it. It might have been our friend Jarrett from Bowling for Soup. Somebody said you should do Stay, and I was like, well, I know that song inside and out. Like I've sung along to it a million times. And so, yeah, we did it, and it was really fun to do. It's so weird when you do a cover, though. Like it's harder than doing original songs in a lot of ways, because you know, you want to do it in a way, like we like to do a cover in a way that people know what it is, but you know, we don't want to change it completely, but you know, we want to put our own spin on it at the same time. So finding that balance is always a little tricky. That one was pretty hard. I think the hardest one we've ever done was Brand New Key, because that song is just a wild roller coaster, and trying to do it like properly on key and in tune and all that, it was not how it was done originally. And so that was a bit of a mind melt, but
I'm back.
And that was kind of a breakout song for you guys too, in a sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's just another one that I loved growing up and wanted to get out there into the world. Who told us to do Stay?
Two people did. So our friend Jarrett Reddick from Bowling for Soup was one, because we kind of just asked around. We were like, so what should we cover? So Jarrett and Drew Carey.
Oh, that's right.
Both told us to do that. So
we're like, okay.
We figured, like, you know, we love the song. We grew up with the song. And like, you know, we've met Lisa Lowe before. Like Kelly had interactions with her through like Daisy Rock and things like that. Because Kelly, you know, they're both Daisy Rock artists. She worked with Daisy Rock for a while. So we have history with her. And so it kind of like, it was like the perfect sort of situation. Like, okay, we have to do this song.
Yeah.
Well, I have a request, because especially since Michael Nesmith just passed last week, a Monkey song.
Yeah, you would not be the first one. I think we have a To Do from Tom that's a Monkey song.
Oh, you mean
yeah?
Like occasionally we'll offer, as part of an album project, we'll offer the fans like, hey, we'll
do any cover.
We'll cover a song for you. Like, so yeah, I think one of them asked for a Monkey song. We still owe it to him. So it may indeed happen.
Well, that might introduce new music to the younger kids as well.
Yeah,
that's true.
And then maybe they'll think we wrote it.
Yeah, there's always that.
Well, out of curiosity, I know you're involved, of course, with Sirius XM. What do you listen to in the car when you drive around town?
So a lot of the time we listen to,
I mean, it's mainly, I'll listen to Faction, and then I'll listen to Sirius, like Underground Garage.
When the kids are in the car, they dictate a lot of it, though. You know, in the house, and it's Kids Bop a lot of the time. Or we've been listening to Montero, a Little Nas X, a lot, because that's our son's favorite album right now. So that is kind of cool too, because it's, you know, they're forcing us to keep up with what's brand new all the time.
We're at that stage in life where our kids are telling us what's cool, not the other way around.
Wow.
I mean, they have an appreciation for rock and roll and punk and live shows and live music and all that. Like, that's ingrained in them. But, you know,
they're also finding new stuff. They're like, hey, this is cool.
They got their finger on the pulse. Like, way more than we
River will be like, hey, Mom, Dad, check this out. It's a hit.
Yeah.
And we're like
he knows what a hit sounds like. But then the other thing is, like, Underground Garage just started a new station. So 721 is the new station, and that's
it's Little Steven's coolest songs, and it's a lot of the newer stuff that we play in Underground Garage, like, you know, all the coolest songs in the world, which there's like 2,000 of them at this point. Stevie's been doing it for so long, but it's less Rolling Stones, less Beatles, less The Who, and more modern stuff.
More Dollyrots.
More Dollyrots, yeah.
More not mainstream, more independent, indie, or lesser known people.
A lot of the time. I mean, sometimes it's what Stevie likes.
Well, but it's
so
also,
sometimes it is a song that's a, you know, verified hit song. And sometimes it's something that nobody's ever heard before.
And they let the DJs pick a lot of it too.
Yeah.
So, like, she'll submit like the top 10 that she wants.
Yeah, I always have like 8 to 10 songs in rotation that are my picks. And that's most of us. Palmyra Del Rey, Manfred Jones. So I think Michael A. Barr, like, we all kind of pick some, Rodney Bingenheimer. So, you know, we do all add to that station too, which is pretty cool.
That was my question, because you obviously do a show on the Underground Garage, so you're doing 2 now.
Yeah, well, I actually am the only voice on the new station.
Oh,
So there aren't really DJs per se. It's more I do the bumpers in between everything and all of that, which
Basically,
is kind of crazy.
basically Kelly's on.
this is really you, the Kelly station, right?
Yeah,
Like-
it's 24/7 me.
721. Serious.
I see that. Yeah, I have it. Wow. So when does this start, or is it already going?
It launched at the beginning of the month,
Oh, okay.
the last month.
You know,
I don't know,
I have to say, I subscribed to SiriusXM for about a decade. And can anybody listen to this stuff, or do you have to be a subscriber?
you have to subscribe. They do a lot of free listening events. You know, I feel like
Yeah, they
once
just-
every
they
few
just had
months they'll
one.
do a free week, and you can just turn it on in the car or on the app. But there is also a little trick where when you call, you can say, hey, are there any specials or deals? And if you say that's too expensive, they'll usually offer something affordable. I know there's like a $3.99 a month plan for students, and they've always got something you can get if you're persistent.
That's cheap. That's less than the price of a hamburger.
Yeah,
we
think about
we used to do that.
we price everything relative to burritos. It's like,
Yeah, like, is this
it's
2
like-
burritos a month?
It's one burrito.
That's how I think of food. Yeah.
Yeah.
My McDonald's Happy Meal or whatever. Yeah. That price. So, well, this is interesting news too. And I see you guys hopefully will be going to the UK in spring. I'm like,
Man.
I don't know what's going on with this whole.
Yeah, that was
Omicron.
supposed to happen last year, and it's with our buddies Bowling for Soup, and then Lit is also going to be there.
Yeah,
So
we haven't hung out
that.
with those guys before.
it's
but-
going to be a massive tour, and we're really excited about it. And
Yeah.
we love England, and we
haven't played there in way too long now.
So yeah, we have a really awesome fan base down up there, and yeah, so we really hope it happens.
Yeah, we're
We
doing a
interviewed you there in 2016. I don't know if that's the last time you were
That's
there.
the last time. That's the
Wow.
last.
no, because
And
Stacy
then-
was born.
Oh,
We went back for the acoustic tour too.
That's true. We
Yeah.
did an acoustic tour. So we've been there since
2018.
When you play in England, how is it different there than here? The crowds and the atmosphere.
I think rock and roll has a certain vitality in England that doesn't really exist anywhere else. I think because of the weather and
And
because of,
Europe.
and because of the general like attitude of the people there, they just want to rock. Like it's a genre that still has a ton of relevancy there and is still celebrated in a way that I feel like maybe in the US things have shifted more towards like pop electronic as being like the dominant like cultural force for like especially like younger people.
Mhm, mhm.
But I think in England like punk and rock and guitar music is alive and well. Not that those other genres aren't represented,
Mhm, mhm.
but yeah, I feel like they have a certain enthusiasm that
Yeah.
I don't know if you see in the States.
And the
as much.
shows, I feel like people are a little more willing to be physically engaged at shows there. Like the clapping over the head and the just being free and loose. People are less self-conscious about it in England.
And singing
versus-
along.
Yeah, people sing along, they dance, they like have their hands in the
They
air.
holler
and
and like
they're like, making little circle pits, happy little
I
circle
mean,
pits.
it may have to do with the pints.
It could be the pints. But it's even, Dublin, Ireland's one of our favorite places to play. And that place
It may have to
was
do
no
with the
alcohol.
pints.
Remember?
You know what?
One of my favorite shows of all
The
time.
second you walk out the door, though, there's like 80 pubs.
Yeah, and everyone's chugging them. But still, like, I don't know what it is. It is fun though.
They know how to have fun.
They know how to party.
They know how to party.
I think there's more venues over there than here in towns.
It's also a general like attitude about the distance between shows, because in the US people are used to driving like 200 miles or whatever to go to
Yeah.
the next city, And over there, I mean, it's like 30 miles away or
People will be like, you never come to my town. And then we look and they're 30 miles from the play effing tour.
But as a
But that's
result,
far.
you can play 18 shows in England and never really feel like you're stepping into a different market, you know?
Yeah.
Because they
Well,
literally
it feels like a different market.
yeah, it's basically the United States compressed down.
Yeah.
And so so their perception of like the distance is just completely different.
It's funny.
It's like multiplied by 5 or something like that.
Because here you have to have a car. There you have great public transportation too. It's easy to get around without a car.
Yeah,
You know, especially like
Yeah,
here in
that
Tampa
too.
Bay,
Yeah.
you need a vehicle.
gosh.
So you're going with Bowling for Soup. Yeah, you do a lot of work with Jarrett, a lot of duo type stuff or whatever.
He's just one of our best friends. I mean, that whole band, we lived on their tour bus for a few years, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, we're really tight with them. Like we go on family vacations together.
Yeah, like we go to Disney together.
Kelly's got a band with Jarrett called Jarrett and Kelly. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a pop alternative band, and we play shows together. We hang out. We collaborate on things. I mean, we've done like tons of compilations and things like that together.
Yeah.
So, and they're obviously like. They've been around a lot longer than us, and they were like
They helped a lot.
They've had like massive radio hits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we've learned a lot from them as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of learned how to be a real band by touring with them.
Interesting. And I see on the schedule that you are doing something with the Buzzcocks, the Dictators. Is this just the cruise or you?
Yeah.
So it's the Great Rock and Roll Cruise, and we're sailing in and out of Greece next August, assuming that it all happens.
Cross your
I
fingers.
hope not anymore, you know?
But the thing is, like when we were younger, we used to listen to the Great Rock and Roll Swindle and drive around, and and we listened to all that punk, and they were our heroes. So now to be able to,
It's crazy.
we're going on a cruise with like the Dictators and the Stranglers and the and Buzzcocks. It's like it's insane. We toured with Buzzcocks before.
Yeah, Buzzcocks are good friends of ours too. So that'll be nice.
And like our band, even though we heavily lean on the pop stuff, like we can still play to that audience and be totally comfortable. Like it's a strange thing.
They understand us in a way that, you know, sometimes if we were to open for, you know, what is labeled pop punk of the 2000s, you know, if we play with one of those bands, it's very different.
Like, you know, like the coordinated jumping and like that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's not really our thing. You know, we're definitely more Buzzcocks, Ramones, you know. And I mean, our son River, his first tour after I had him was with Black Flag in Southern California. And it was one of our best, you know, tours ever.
And this is like right as we were putting out what many consider to be like a really, really poppy album, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's fine. We can play with Black Flag. It's cool. Like it works. I don't know why, but it works.
Yeah. I think people of that generation understand where our music comes from. And so I think that makes it more fun.
Yeah.
What's interesting is you're pop punk, but you don't have that, what I would call that California nasally kind of, you know, that sound that they do.
Yeah.
Is there a name for that?
Oh no.
I mean, it's as of right this moment, it's being clumped into like emo. Like for some reason, the pop punk of the early 2000s is falling under the umbrella of nostalgic emo music, even though it wasn't really that at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know, because you know, genres and descriptions
screamo
get manipulated over time to fit into boxes that maybe they didn't initially fit into.
Names.
So
Is this your first cruise? Doing a music cruise?
Yeah. We've never done a rock cruise before, so this will be fun. You know, I mean, the last 2 years we haven't gone anywhere, so I'm just looking forward to being out of the house.
We're gonna take the kids out of school and stuff. It'll be their second week of school, and we're like, nope, they're coming on a cruise.
Yeah, we're gonna take the kids.
Grandma's coming.
It's gonna be like a family trip.
Yeah.
So. So it'll be-
Especially Greece, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Going around the Mediterranean, and I guess, are there other stops that they're going to, the ship, besides Greece?
Yeah, we start, it's Athens, Mykonos, Greece, and Izmir, Turkey.
Oh,
Yeah, so it'll be
yeah,
pretty
so
cool.
anybody that goes on it, you're basically going to be hanging out with us and all those other bands.
Yeah.
It's just, there's nowhere to go on a boat. You're just kind
Yeah.
of like all together.
We're playing at least 3 shows, and I've got
Yeah.
a bunch of DJ things I've got to do. We're doing the radio the station from the boat too,
oh, interesting.
which will be funny.
It's
You'll
kind
be
of,
streaming from the boat then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
it will not be a vacation because we're going to be working.
Yeah,
almost-
I'm
Yeah.
definitely working my tail off, but
Plus, you're 6 hours ahead over there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have no idea. how
Yeah, I think it's about 6 hours or
Yeah,
so.
it should be 6. Yeah, because England's 5. Yeah.
I've never been on any of those rock cruises. The people are approachable, so you would be approachable if
Yeah, I mean, we always are though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
you know.
sure how it will be.
I think there are two kinds of musicians or artists or whatever. I mean, they're the type that like hide backstage and pretend that they're mysterious, and then there's like people like us that just kind of like, I'm gonna go be wherever and hang out with
Yeah.
whoever,
Like, I'm gonna go out front of the venue so I can get some fresh air, and I'll just end up talking to everybody.
I'm just 9 times because there's no reason. We're all just people,
Yeah.
It's cool.
do they have concerts around the clock? I've never been on any of these.
I have no idea how the
Yeah.
schedules can go. I guess mainly the concerts are going to be contained to the daytime, right?
Yeah,
evening
I have no idea. I just know that we're doing 3. I think each group is doing at least 3 sets,
Hmm.
and there are more to be announced. So it's 5 days. It's a lot of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You might be tired.
and I
of
think there are
music.
there are 4 or 5 venues on the boat. So like one's a really cool little pub.
Mhm.
I
It's
wanna
an
play the
Irish
little
pub,
pub.
open 24/7.
I want to play there.
Yeah, I hope we get to play there. But yeah, there's just a bunch of different kinds of rooms and venues.
It's gonna be fun though.
It's a huge boat.
So 2022, I guess a lot of it is still up in the air because we don't know what's going on with this new COVID strain and all this business.
Yeah, we've got dates booked.
We have a tour in March in the U.S., so that's going to be the Midwest, and then we're going to try to get back out west as soon as possible. Obviously, we've got the UK thing on the books.
Mhm.
We have been planning to tour a lot next year, like just to make up for the last couple of years.
Right.
And all of that combined with starting up a new release, like we're likely than not, now that we got all of our old stuff out of the way, we're gonna kind of just start fresh with a new concept and a new album, write a new album, and kind of develop that over the next several months. I don't know if we're gonna aim for a 2022 release or a 2023 release. It kind
If we
of
want vinyl, it's got to be 2024, right?
yeah, because vinyl's impossible to get right now. So some of it might be dictated by manufacturing times, which is crazy. It really
Yeah,
shouldn't
it's
be.
weird.
Because you can't get vinyl.
Is that
Like-
because of China and this whole COVID thing? What's the deal with the vinyl?
There's a
It's-
supply issue, but it's been becoming more difficult to get vinyl printed for the last several years because a lot of the major label acts are printing vinyl now.
Yeah.
So for example, Adele needed, like 1 million copies of the
Mhm.
brand new album, which meant every single vinyl plant needed to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
And so
wow.
any of us who
There-
needed like 2,000
Yeah.
records, like, nope,
Yeah,
like get to the
basic-
back of the line.
when you're watching a late night show and
They always hold up the
they hold
freaking
up-
12
they
inch.
hold up the record and it's like a major label artist that sells like 1 million of them. There are only so many vinyl presses. In
Like
the
there are
world.
only so many machines.
So
They're old.
So guess who's gonna get priority?
Not us.
That's interesting. So
Like-
let's blame it on Adele. She's hogging it all.
Yeah, if you look it up, there was a news story about it. Like
Yeah.
there were people blaming her, but really it's not.
It's been for a couple years.
It's the major label system that has encroached on what used to be an independent, movement
Yeah.
back to vinyl. And so they're like, oh, we can
It
make
was like
money.
record store day used to be about, brick and mortar record stores and,
Yeah.
all the like mid-sized bands and,
And
everybody who loved vinyl would put something out special. And now record store day is all like major label stuff and major distributors.
It's basically a pipeline for major distributors and labels to shove a bunch
There's
of
actually like a
vinyl out
contract involved, all this weird stuff now.
I mean,
That's-
it's just weird because this is like, we've been putting out vinyl since 2004, 2003. So we were into it
Yeah.
back then. And so seeing it, talking about the resurgence of vinyl, all this stuff, it's been great.
We gotta start
awesome.
8-tracks.
But now it's come back around and like the snake's starting to eat itself, and we're just like, well, it shouldn't take 9 months for us to get vinyl, which is literally what it's looking like right now.
Yeah.
So, but either way, we'll have new music out, and if
we can tour, we will.
all things permitting, we're gonna, get out there and really bust it on the tour. So,
Are people still buying CDs?
Yeah.
oh yeah, our new release is on CD, and like people
I asked
still
Daisy
buy.
to get one, but she didn't understand.
And I think a lot of first of all, I think CDs are an amazing format. I know it seems weird, but in terms of a format, you get like you get like a poster and you get the packaging, and we'll like sign it and stuff.
Yeah.
And so you have like a thing, right?
But the audio also has
And
the clarity that
And
remains.
the audio is the highest quality, like 44:1 wave file that you can get. But I think a lot of times people just get it because they want something to hold. They want like something, because
Well, that's what a lot of our vinyl sales were too. It's like you want to put something up on the wall that looks like art.
Yeah,
That reminds you of your favorite band.
you just want something. So
I've noticed this trend, and I think a lot of it is from COVID too. People realize that something that is real, that you can hold in your hand, that's tangible, is really more down to earth. It's real. It's like, during COVID, we went to print.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we have real magazines now.
Yeah, which is great. I think it's
The
better.
thing is, there's no bookstores to sell them.
Yeah.
Everybody sells stuff online now, so that's the way that we had to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we do too, but I think there's also some authenticity with that too, because it's like if you get a signed CD from us, we will physically take it and sign it and send it to you, and it's probably got our fingerprints all over it, So there is like, I think people appreciate that. Like, it's not coming from like a merch fulfillment company. It's not coming from Barnes and Noble. It's like coming from the band, it's coming from our kitchen table, like for real. So I think people get that.
It's personal. It's personal.
Yeah.
I think that's what people like. It's really from you, and they get to meet you and everything.
Yeah.
People are missing that,
We believe in that. And, we've been missing that too. That's why this COVID thing sucks for us, because the payoff for us is to go out and like meet the people that like our music,
Right.
So
well, wow, I
get it.
we'll be looking for new music coming out from you guys. Hopefully you'll release maybe a couple singles at a time before, I presume.
Yeah. The way we did Daydream was like this too. Daydream Explosion was our last full length, and we released like, vinyl 7 inches and then digital singles leading up to the actual record. And it was cool because it kind of gives people a taste of what's coming, and you can tour behind them and stuff like that. So we'll definitely have something new, like sooner than later.
All right. Well, looks like you have a lot going on between all these. Well, hopefully these tours will go and everything.
And even if they don't, we got plenty to do.
Yeah. And you guys are busy with all the radio shows, and any other pet projects we want to talk about before we go?
We're doing a Christmas Stage It. I don't know when this is going to air, but we're doing a Stage It for the holidays. It's a free show. It's like live and streaming.
Right?
We're doing it tomorrow.
Oh, this is big news then.
Yeah, so we're doing this show tomorrow.
In front of our Christmas tree with the kids.
You go to Stage It, there's a link that you could, like a streaming show.
Yeah, it's a streaming show. The tickets are pay what you want. So we're just like, just pay nothing. I don't really care.
What time is it?
It's at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. UK.
Okay.
And we're going to play songs from our Christmas record. You know, we have a Christmas album. It's basically like a compilation of all the Christmas songs we put out. That's also a free download on Bandcamp.
Oh,
You know? And we have a new Christmas song this year. We covered Leona Lewis's One More Sleep, which apparently no one in the US knows about. So we were like, cool, they'll think it's ours.
holy cow.
It's a song that we always loved.
And yeah, I mean, we just all this holiday stuff. It's been awesome. And in the meantime, we set up a pre-order for the new record for Rabbit Hole, and people have been getting that, you know, in advance of the release. Like, you can get it from us now, even though it's not coming out till January 21st.
Mhm.
So,
And that would be CD, or were you able to get that pressed?
that's on CD only, yeah, because the press
CD only because of the whole vinyl situation, which
you can get that as like, I mean, we're doing these cute packages. Like Kelly, like bake people cookies. You can get a package with.
We've got.
I saw that on the internet.
She's got like signature soap. Like, you can get this amazing package with like a poster and a T-shirt and soap and stickers and stuff.
Homemade
Holy
cookies.
cow.
Yeah, so we've been doing that. It's still available. It's in the store. Yeah. So
I saw you baking cookies on Instagram. That's for real. You were doing that to give with.
Yep.
yeah, a bunch of people got cookies in a Dollyrots tin. It was like, it's crazy.
You can't get any more personal than homemade cookies, you know.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Well, I thank you so much for
Thank you for having us. It's good to see
Rocket
you again.
Night. And we'll try to get some of this news out too. I mean, obviously you have a Christmas special tomorrow that needs to be promoted, and an upcoming album, and hopefully we'll get the vinyl people going. You get some real, I play vinyl myself. I still have a turntable. So there's nothing like holding vinyl.
Yeah, we'll get it on the next one.
Yeah.
The next one we'll have it. Yep.
All right. Well, happy holidays to you guys. We'll keep following you on Instagram, and happy 2022.
Yes,
you
me too.
Thanks for the support.
All right. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Right on.
You're listening to Rock at Night.
The introductory song, Get On Down, is from blues artist Billy Bass Alford. Look for his music at ReverbNation.com.